and really giving that athlete like a sports car, and giving the athlete every advantage, being streamlined, being more reductive, and making sure they just have something that's really dynamic and responsive. So a couple things I want to show you guys from a new product standpoint is the first shoe is the Nike Free Trainer. And this has actually come out to retail, and we're getting great consumer adoption and great athlete feedback on this model. And when we think about this model, it's all about being pure. And this is our smartest training shoe in the line, and it's our most minimal, and it's just our most, only what you need shoe. From a free perspective, if you guys have worn this, what this is all about is allowing your foot to do what it's supposed to do. Be natural and move like it should, and be more of kind of barefoot training. So as you look at how we designed this product from the bottom up, we have added the outsole delta node traction. That's what that's all about, is just only where you need it, those points of contact where you have that high wear. But the thing that's great about Free is this is our most overt, flexible, and dynamic trainer that's out there, that's really going to allow your foot to strengthen and move like it should, and which makes it super unique and dynamic, and it definitely feels different. And as you move in that midsole, the other thing we're trying to do is drop that athlete down closer to the ground so they can really feel the ground, and their feet can splay out and really, almost use their toes like, talons to reach in the ground and really grab and strengthen, so that as they move into their baseball and football product that is more protective and a little bit stiffer, to protect them on the field, they can manipulate those plates better because their feet are stronger. So it's all about strengthening that athlete's feet. And as you move in the upper, really deconstructed mesh, so it's breathable, and it's lightweight, but again, using that Nike Flywire technology to lock you down in the forefoot and the heel. So this is our Nike Free Trainer. The one thing I just want you guys to take a peek at is this is an initial prototype. As we start to design the product and get ideas on paper, before we start to cut samples, we will print off what we call these Z-Core parts, and this is all like cornstarch material. And what that helps our team do is get an idea of how things are coming, and we're moving from 2D to 3D, and it really allows our team to get an idea conceptually, are things proportions right? Do we have things solved? Where do we need to move some things around or add or delete? So it just gives you kind of a look into our world and some of the schematics and drawings that we use. Again, we have a cold combat version coming out. So the other new model that we're super excited to talk to you guys about is the Zoom Huarache Mid. So for those of you who've been out there, it's been a model that's been something that's uniquely Nike and had our stamp of consumer insights, and from a design perspective, really stepping out there and creating something that only we can do. So we went back again and looked at what Huarache means to our consumer and our category, and this is the latest and greatest. So a couple things that you guys will be able to see as we look at this product from the ground up is we've added a little bit more. So if this is our lightest and most nimble trainer, as you move into the Zoom Huarache Mid, we've added a little bit more outsole coverage to give you that traction that you need. We have a second density of foam to give you that nice smooth transition from heel to forefoot, and added the pivot point. So you can start to see we've become a little bit more additive. As you move into the midsole, we want to deliver on that comfort and that experience and that ride, but we're using a different technology. So we're using Zoom Air in the heel. And the difference about Zoom Air, the two advantages of it gets you lower to the ground, and it's got a lot more snap to it. These tensile fibers that are inside allow you to get lower to the ground, but it also returns that energy and it pops. This is a lot of what we use in basketball and cleated and training products. So we've added that Zoom Air bag in the heel. And then as you move to the upper, this is a very overt example of us of like being reductive and taking material away. So you've seen these three windows where we've cut out material to reduce weight, but we're not losing any structure because we've brought the strap and the height of the shoe in there to really help lock that athlete down. And then the last thing, for those of you guys that have experienced Huarache before, it's all about that dynamic fit booty. So you slide your foot in, it's just like a sock, it just snaps on. And we talked earlier about that 360 comfort, really encasing your foot and giving that great experience of that fit and that ride. This is what's kind of come to life. So as you guys look at the colors around the room, I got a question for you. So we worked with one athlete from the start to the finish on this shoe, and as you guys start to look at some of the colors around the room, does anybody have a guess on what athlete we worked with for this?
That one?
Yeah, every color is kind of a cue to his life and his journey so far.
Red and black?
purple right there too.
Silver and black ball.
Think football.
Yeah. Raiders.
All right, I'll give you guys. I kind of walk you through this. So we work with Larry Fitzgerald on this shoe from the get-go, and I think the couple things I'll show you about his story is we've got the home and away. So you see the black and the white, red, black. So we wanted to tie in directly where he's at in his life. But some of you might not know, as a teenager, he grew up in Minnesota. He was a ball boy for the Vikings when Denny Green was the coach there. So this colorway here ties directly into that and draws inspiration. You guys can check this out. We got a nice football finish on all the overlays to really kind of harken back to that story and his time there. Vikings color, and then when you look at the bottom, we pop the foam in yellow. Just that nice little accent and hit as you go through it. As you look at the other colorways in here, we wanted to celebrate his time as he won the Biletnikoff Award as the best wide receiver in college football. His time at Pitt when he really dominated and started to assert himself and become the strongest and the fastest athlete on his team and one of the best in college football. We paid tribute to that. The silver one over there behind you guys, this past season, Larry wore a chrome Vapor that was really kind of irreverent and stood out on Monday Night Football, and it was something that really caught his eye and had a little bit more flash and flair to it, so we brought that into the Huarache. And then the last colorway, not least by any stretch of the imagination, is you guys have probably noticed in October the NFL and the players have really tried to celebrate and get behind breast cancer awareness. And Larry's mom unfortunately passed away from breast cancer, and it's a cause and a relationship that is really important to him and something that he tries to get behind. So we created a black and pink trainer to really remind him of his support and trying to get the awareness out there about breast cancer. So this is an example of listening to the voice of the athlete and really bringing that together. So this really kind of wraps up the speed room, and just think pace and be